Page number 1. Hizbul commander among 5 militants killed in Kulgam. See, page number 1, right article. Now, as a thing in internal security, we need to know some things related to J&K militancy. J&K militancy, Jammu and Kashmir militancy. J&K militancy is one of the major internal security challenge faced by India. Some of you had done internal security classes already. So, as I mentioned earlier also, there are 3 major internal security challenges for the country. Major challenges. There are some minor challenges also. Major 3 internal security challenges are Northeast insurgency, J&K militancy, left-wing extremism. Right? These 3 are the major internal security challenges. Other than these 3, there are some minor challenges also like mob lynching, fake news. What are internal security challenges? Whichever the things which can create law and order problems in the country. Isn't it? Law and order problems in the country, or else which will lead to human right violations or attack on the humans. Now, these 3 are the major things and which are being continued from many decades. Now, mob lynching due to communalism or else fake news propaganda and all are some minor issues. In recent times, new internal security challenges like cyber security are also arising. Cyber security issues are also arising. And see, these are not related to border issues. We consider them as other security challenges or bordering security challenges. These are the things which we have to deal inside the country. Okay. Now, you might have done in the classes about these 3. Specifically, what yesterday happened is some sort of clash in J&K. Now, as per this article, your requirement to know is only about the area called Kulgam. Kulgam is a place in J&K. Other than this, you need not learn anything over there. Okay, Kulgam. And one more thing, there are some groups in the country which are trying to create challenges to the country in internal security. Like this Hizbul Mujahideen. Hizbul Mujahideen, Jaish-e-Mohammed. Yeah, means why I am telling this, in writing any answer, you can quote these as examples. Okay, one of the organization is Hizbul Mujahideen. Okay, and see, every year in our security, same IR which takes 50 marks in GS2, same internal security will be taking 50 marks in GS3. Same there also, question number 9, 10 and 19, 20, and these questions will also be relatively very easy because completely static part. One question might be current linked, but you can also handle that with static knowledge. Okay, and among those 4 questions every year, at least one question, 2 questions either one questions from these 3 topics will be guaranteed. Means either left-wing extremism or else something related to Northeast insurgency and J&K militancy. Okay, prepare those properly. Now see, why I am telling this, because by the time you will be writing mains, the things across all the mains papers GS 1, 2, 3, 4, you will be having some around 100 to 120 themes which are being repeated. See, as I mentioned earlier, health is a repeated topic, water is a repeated topic, urbanization is a repeated topic, federalism, local self-government, these are some repeated topics. Now, we know that questions are coming from them, and if we are not preparing on them, it will be our sin. Okay, so at least to those topics, make some digital notes or hard notes. Okay, digital notes will be somewhat easier nowadays because you can add easily, but if some are not well versed with digital things, you can make handwritten notes also, not an issue. Okay, at least to these important topics, try to make notes, and it won't happen in a single day. It takes some time. You have that time, not an issue. Exam chal time only. Yeah, just some sort of knowledge thing. Yeah, page number 2. IVF center will be established at MGM Hospital in Warangal. Health Minister says this. Now, you will be learning about this IVF and all in science and technology, biotechnology part. What is this IVF? In vitro fertilization. Now, what is this utility? You are not done with science and tech now. No. What is this in vitro fertilization? What do you understand by this? Yeah, sort of thing means for the couple who are unable to get kids, in some sort of biotechnology support, they can have kids, right? That is called as in vitro fertilization. Means here the fertilization between the sperm and egg, sperm and ovule, which will be creating egg, will be happening in a laboratory setup or else in the womb of other women. That is also very important. Actually, in the last 5 to 6 years, they had asked every year about something related to this biotechnology and in vitro fertilization. 3-parent baby stem cell technology and all. You will learn about all these things in science and tech. Once you learn anything, all the things will become easy. Earlier, you might have thought that polity is somewhat longer and bigger. After classes, you might have at least felt some comfort. Some comfort. Now, same is the case with other things also. Exam is all about acquisition of knowledge, integration of knowledge, application of knowledge, right? In classes or else in books, from books you are trying to acquire the knowledge. After that, you are trying to integrate the things, that consolidating, making short notes and all, and further you will be trying to apply your knowledge from the skills you had acquired in the exam, be it prelims, mains or interview, isn't it? Once you have the knowledge, you can clear all the 3 things. How? See, if you have to reduce the exam into minor things, this is like an communication exam, English communication or language communication exam. In prelims, your reading skills will be tested. Simply in prelims, once you have knowledge, take a case, you have acquired all the knowledge in the back of your mind. Your conscious mind, subconscious mind is completely filled with knowledge. While performing prelims, what you will be doing? You will be reading the question fast, you will be eliminating the options. So, majorly there your reading skills are being tested. In mains, you are having knowledge, your writing skills are being tested. In interview, you are having knowledge, your speaking skills are being tested. Simply in the exam. So, reading, writing and speaking skills are being tested over there, but this must be backed with some huge amount of knowledge. Classes or books will help you to gain that knowledge. This will be easier, but this will be difficult. You need to put your effort over there. Okay? Page number 6. Ration cards to eligible families after Sankranti. Of course, you might think it is completely state news, but the thing here is that who will be issuing ration cards, whether central government or state government? State government. State government. Ration cards will be issued by, why so? Why central government will be giving ration cards? Ration cards means above poverty line people also will be having ration cards, pink cards, white cards and all. Ration cards are the things which will be utilized during public PDS system, taking food grains and all. Got it? Ration cards are the instruments we will be using to utilize our PDS, our right to food grains as per National Food Security Act 2013. Means this ration card is formed out of this PDS. PDS comes under which list? State list. So who will issue PDS ration cards? State. Don't make the things complex. PDS comes under state list. So obviously work will be with state. That's why now on the ration cards you can see for every new government you will be seeing changing of cards, changing of colors, changing of photos. For example, in Andhra during last 5 years there is called as rice cards with Jaganna's photo print. Obviously, if it is from central government, they can't do that, no. See, many questions in prelims you can solve with common sense and logic. Just apply your outside knowledge, movies knowledge, cinema knowledge and all. So, about this topic, what I want to tell is that issue of ration cards is completely with state government because the PDS system will be coming under state list. Now, how there is some statutory backing to this. One is our constitution itself has PDS system under state list. Other thing is to distribute food grains across the country, we bought an act called National Food Security Act. National Food Security Act 2013. This act has been made to, why this act has been made? Food security, what will be done with this act? Providing rice, wheat and other food grains basically. By this system, rice will be provided at, rice will at how much cost? Wheat, food grains, sorry this pulses, 3, 2 and 1. Rice, wheat and pulses 3, 2 and 1. And around 67% of the Indian population is having access to NFSA 2013. Okay, 67%. 75% from rural areas, 50% of the population from urban areas. Okay. This NFSA 2013 mandates the distribution of rice, wheat and other grains at 3, 2, 1. Now, after that, state governments if want, they can give subsidies. Now, whether, I want to teach you here some important topic, very important for the exam. So, all these things is happening with the help of National Food Security Act 2013. But how the fair price shops will be getting these food grains? FCI. So, FCI will be giving food grains to state governments. That is the fair price shops of states. Fair price shops means ration shops. Fair price shops of ration, state governments. How FCI will be getting these food grains? Buy from partners. So these will be, FCI will be taking food grains from the farmers. Right? FCI will be taking food grains from the farmers. Now states must sell these food grains at states must sell these food grains to the consumers at some subsidized price, that is 3 to 1 presently. Okay. Avuna kada? But whether FCI will be giving the same cost to farmers? No, right? So FCI will be procuring at 16 rupees or 17 rupees or 20 rupees as per the MSP. As per the MSP, FCI will be taking this. But how FCI will be giving this to this subsidy? FCI is giving subsidy to the state governments, no? Because FCI is subsidizing the food grains to states. The overall cost that FCI is putting upon itself is called as economic cost of the FCI. Economic cost means, while calculating economic cost, don't get confused. Total cost made on FCI for procuring food grains. What it will be? Food grains taken from the farmer, distribution costs, logistic costs, supplying to the states. All these are the different costs borne by FCI. Then how much in return FCI is getting? How much it is getting? It is getting this amount, no? 3 to 1. How many kgs the state government will be taking? It will be getting that amount only. So some subsidized amount will be getting. Avuna kada? So for example, take the case of 5 kgs. 5 kgs of some dal. For 5 kgs of dal, it might have taken from the farmers, say at 20 rupees, 100 rupees, and distribution, transportation, everything will be around 20 rupees. So 120 rupees. How much it will be taking from states? 5 into 1, 5 rupees. So 115 rupees is the loss of FCI. This is called as economic cost. Economic cost. This economic cost of FCI can't run in this way. So central government will be subsidizing this economic cost to the FCI. Okay. Central government will be subsidizing this economic cost to the FCI. That's why you might have seen in the newspapers about the food security bill of the central government. Presently it is around 2.5 lakh crores. Means every year central government will be giving this 2.5 lakh crores to FCI to procure the food grains. See, take a case. Kerala cannot grow rice. How they will be getting food grains? Other states. Who will be giving for them? FCI will be giving. If we think that only okay, leave. Health is in state list. Health is in state list. Education is in concurrent list. Health is in state list. Why all the movie actors are coming to Hyderabad and getting treated? It doesn't. Health sector regulation is happening by union government. Avuna kada? See, even in the state list also, central government can give directions. It can't impose restrictions. Central government can give directions on each and everything. Central government can give directions on each and everything. It is not at all an issue. And even here also, if FCI is not giving grains, how states will be getting? That's why now government is also mulling this. States can procure. From where states will be procuring? That setup is not there. That's why FCI is acting as an intermediate. And the thing you need to understand here is that FCI is not a central government body basically. FCI is a separate body. It is a public sector body. We can't consider it as completely subsidiary of central government. Kada? It is a company. Basically FCI is a company. Like steel plant, FCI is also a company that formed by a central government act. Major duty is to see why this is also essential, because these food grains are also not for PDS distribution. For also, if there is any crisis, COVID crisis, who gave food grains to the states? FCI gave from its buffer stock. FCI in its mandate has three things. One thing is to supply to PDS. Other thing is to supply to midday meal schemes and other Anganwadi schemes and all. The third thing is to maintain buffer stocks. In case of any crisis, food insecurity, they will be taking food grains from their buffer stocks. FCI is having more than 50 million tons of buffer stocks now. Okay. In economy, you can read all this in agriculture part. Completely, we are having direct topic this, food security topic. Okay. Then, see, in prelims, you can get guaranteely one question from this discussion. Okay. Positive direction. Page number 10. India must ensure greater transparency in talks with China. Now, whether you understood that articles will be repeating. Yesterday, we had discussed about India-China meetings and all. Repeatedly, in the next 5 to 6 days also, we will be seeing articles on the same things. So, even if you didn't read newspaper up to now, it is not at all a problem. But if you are not reading from now, it is a problem. Okay. So, see, this is very well written article actually. There are some, if a thing we might have asked in the exam, between two countries, what would be the possible dimensions over there? Between any country. Take the case of India, China. Suppose what they could ask? Problems in their relations. Positives are their relations. Solutions in their relations. Means how to handle these problems and all. ఇదే కదా మీరు ఏం చూసినా కదా ఇదే కదా హౌ వన్ కంట్రీ విల్ బి బెనిఫిషియల్ టు అదర్ కన్వర్జెన్సెస్ అండ్ డైవర్జెన్సెస్ దట్ విల్ బి కమింగ్ ఇన్ positives or divergences will be coming in problems, isn't it? For any country, if we have to simplify the things, these are the things which will be asking. Now, this article clearly summed up about the solutions. Once read the full article. They actually India and China has many mechanisms to solve the problems between us. We are having border disputes, we are having water disputes. Even in different organizations across the world also, we are having some issues. To solve these problems, we have different mechanisms. For example, we have confidence building mechanisms. We had started special representative talks to solve the border crisis. Now, after 2020, because of Galwan crisis, all these mechanisms have been put on hold. Now, since again from the recent summit and yesterday's meeting, all the things are getting normal. Okay, all the things are getting normal. So, here they had clearly mentioned once, they had mentioned about this special representative stocks, confidence building measures. Read that full article once and note down in your notes. And one more thing, Yesterday, meeting between our Ajit Doval and Foreign Affairs Minister of China had happened. The outcome of that meeting is that they had named it as 6 consensus. Name is 6 consensus to solve the border disputes. So you can get a question in prelims saying that 6 consensus is a thing in news related to which of the following. It is a thing of mechanism between India and China to solve their border disputes. IR questions will be very easy, single line questions. Just you need to know all the happenings what are being done. Crimes against humanity and an obtuse Indian stance. So here the thing is that crimes against humanity, actually recently in December in the first week, an resolution has been passed to bring new convention or new sort of policy to control the crimes against humanity. But India is not ready to accept it. That's why we are calling it as obtuse. Obtuse and abdayindi kada. It is not as, our stand is not as per the formed regulations. Okay? So now what is problem to India? See, crimes against humanity, we do not have a treaty calling for crimes against humanity. Earlier we have treaties for condemning war crimes, weapons of mass destruction and all. But as of now, we do not have any treaty on crimes against humanity. Now we are mulling to bring one convention or treaty to solve this crimes against humanity. But the problem is that they are trying to bring this under Rome Statute. There is a thing called Rome Statute which will be hearing these cases related to crimes against humanity. India is not a member of this Rome Statute. India didn't sign this Rome Statute. And also, there is a code called International Criminal Court. In your IR classes, you will be learning about 3 different codes. International Court of Justice, Permanent Court of Arbitration and International Criminal Court. Have you heard this earlier? Okay. These 3 are different international courts. In this, ICC is one organization which will be dealing with war crimes and all. Now, this crimes against humanity, they are trying to bring it under this ICC. But India in the first place is not at all accepting ICC only. Because what is happening, anything in the country happening, ICC will be having the jurisdiction. It leads to loss of our sovereignty. Isn't it? So, since it might lead to loss of our sovereignty, India is not ready. Okay? And India is also having problems here. See in third box, India's stand. India is not part of the Rome Statute and has consistently objected to the ICC's jurisdiction over issues such as the powers of the ICC prosecutor. Please. Role of UN Security Council under the Roman Statute and the non-inclusion of the use of nuclear weapons as a war crime. These are the reasons India is quoting for not joining in this treaty. Okay? This is only under discussions. This didn't become treaty as of now. If it becomes treaty, it will be important for the exam. If not, you can get a question that already whether crimes against humanity treaty is there or not. Until now, it is not there. Okay. Should legislatures in India have fixed tenures? Why this article? 129th Constitutional Amendment Bill, one nation, one election. Now, during our discussion day before yesterday, we discussed about one nation, one election. There, we thought of one point. Okay, it is good. From 2020, take a case from 2029, we are starting one nation, one election, simultaneous elections in the country. Okay, simultaneous elections in the country. Now, this government should be up to 2034, isn't it? Now, some state assembly might have dissolved in 2031 or 2032. In some state, president rule might have kept and the assembly might have dissolved. Again, new elections must come. Then the idea of simultaneous elections will not follow. So, this 129th Amendment Bill says that if anything of this sort will be happening, so again we can keep a thing called mid-term elections. And this mid-term elections, after a party wins in this mid-term elections, it will continue only for the remaining period. Means, for example, take case again CBN became Chief Minister in 2029, not Pawan Kalyan. Again, if CBN becomes Chief Minister in 2029, and in between, due to some reason, House got dissolved in 2032. As per the fixed term, we have up to 2034. So again, election will be conducted, and the tenure of that election, tenure of that house will be only 2 years. The left out 2 years, not the full thing. This is the thing which had been placed in our 129th Constitution Amendment Bill. So in this way, they want to keep a fixed tenure. Whether Constitution says there is a fixed tenure up to now, maximum time period is 5 years. Full time is 5 years. If an house is dissolved, again elections will be coming. They can continue for another 5 years. Now, once if this bill passes, it becomes Constitution Amendment Act. That will be removed, and only for the remaining period these things will be continued. And this is not only case with assembly elections. Even the national government, even if Parliament of India is dissolved, they will also be for the remaining period only, not for the full period of 5 years. Okay. In local self-government, what is the case now? If an house is dissolved, if the time is greater than 1 year, elections will be conducted, and they will be continue only for the remaining period. Yes, good. And how local bodies can be dissolved? How local bodies can be dissolved as per 73rd and 74th Amendment Act? See, now assembly and parliament can be dissolved if they lose majority, or else if 5 years is completed. How local bodies can be dissolved in the country? 5 years aipote, once 5 years gets completed. Other thing is, if state government thinks to dissolve, it can dissolve in a singular manner, no need to bring any legislation also. If today government passes an executive resolution dissolving all the local bodies in the state, it can be dissolved. And the irony here is that they need not say any reason for dissolving also. Without stating any reason, all the local bodies in the country can be dissolved in the state. Sorry, because local self-government is part of state list. Only union government can decide, says High Court on Rahul Citizenship Pro, page number 12. Some people are alleging that Rahul Gandhi is not an Indian, he is having citizenship from other country. Same things kada akkade. If an house is having same process kada, same as states, UTs will be also be conducted. Akkada house undaru kada. If there is no CM, there won't be any house only, no? Lieutenant Governor will be ruling everything. Lieutenant Governor will be acting directly as agent of President of India. UTs are a major feature of unitary form of government. No power to the states. They will be acting completely subordinate to the central government and President of India. Okay? Only union government can decide, says High Court on Rahul Citizenship Pro. Why? Citizenship is in union list. In list 1 of the 7th schedule. Okay, that's why. Nothing more is required there. As I mentioned earlier also, citizenship is under the domain of the union government, and to implement and to make regulations on citizenship, central government had brought Citizenship Act 1955. Citizenship Act 1955. Okay. Both houses adjourned without any transaction. Adjournment signed by prorogation. What is the difference here? Summoning and proroguing. Who will be doing the summoning and proroguing? President in the case of central government, union governor in the case of states. Now, adjournment and adjournment signed will be done by, that is the presiding officer of the house. Difference between adjournment and adjournment signed by? Adjournment, at the end of the session, we will be saying the date and time when we will be meeting further. It is called as adjournment. And adjournment signed by, no date and time will be mentioned whether we will be having the next session or not. This is adjournment signed day. Both of them will be done by presiding officer. Summoning and proroguing will be done by president. Now, without summoning, a session cannot be started. Summoning means starting of the house. Summoning of the house will be done by the president on the recommendation, advice of prime minister or the council of ministers. And the complete end of the session will be done by president on the advice of the council of ministers. So, summoning is the starting point, this proroguing is the ending point, remaining things will be in the hands of presiding officer. Now, generally, some proroguing will be done after adjournment signed day. Can proroguing can be done without adjournment signed day or without adjournment? Yes. Even in the procedure of house also, president can move prorogation. Now Telangana assembly is going on currently. If governor moves prorogation, house will be stopped. There is no mandatory requirement that adjournment signed day must be moved and further only prorogation. Okay. Page number 13. Rahul unfit to be leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, says BJP. Leader of opposition. Say, leave all the politics aside. We require only the topics which are important for the exam. Leader of opposition. For becoming leader of opposition, what is essential? 1/10 of total strength of the house. 1/10 of total strength of the house, including speaker or excluding speaker. Including speaker or excluding speaker. While we are calculating this 10%. Including speaker. Everything is including speaker. Because he is a member of the house. Member of the house. So, since we are having 543, minimum 55 members must be there. Whether this rule is there in constitution? Whether this rule is there in Lok Sabha rules? Yes. No. Whether this rule is there in any executive resolution? No. It is only a convention given by our first speaker, Mavalankar. That's why we call it as Mavalankar rule. This is heavily in use now. That's why it is important. And further, does India has leader of opposition from the beginning? First time leader of opposition happened to be in India in 1969. At that time, Congress got divided into Congress I, Congress O. That's why first time leader of opposition in India happened to be in this 1969, both for Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. And in the last 10 years, there is no leader of opposition in the country. Why? Because no party is able to get 10% of the seats. Now, the leader of opposition after 10 years is Rahul Gandhi. Okay, because Congress this time got more than 55 seats, that is 99. Okay, Rajya Sabha also same thing, 25% seat, 25 seats, 245 kada. Okay, and also know the names of the first leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, first leader of opposition in Rajya Sabha. Write down. Repu chuskondi. LOP Lok Sabha, LOP Rajya Sabha first. You can get a question on it. See, UPSC had turned it questions in such a way that if there is something in news, it is linking it to the past things. Leader of opposition, obviously while reading leader of opposition, you have to read its history. So, first LOP Lok Sabha, first LOP Rajya Sabha. Class ayipeka Google chesi మీ notes లో యాడ్ చేసుకోండి. Eklavya schools struggle to meet 5% PVTG sub-quota dropouts on the rise. Eklavya schools have been started in some 4 years back. Eklavya schools means tribal schools. Okay. Now, government had done an amendment and made that in this Eklavya schools 5% seats must be allocated to particularly vulnerable tribal groups, PVTGs. How many PVTGs are there? 75. PVTGs have been formed under the recommendations of ఏ కమిటీ చెప్పింది PVTGs ఫామ్ చేయాలి ఇండియాలో? ఆంథ్రోపాలజీ ఏం చెప్పబోదు బాగా. దేబర్ కమిటీ సజెస్టెడ్ the formation of PVTGs. Okay, Debar committee suggested the formation of PVTGs. Earlier name of PVTGs is PTGs, primitive tribal groups. Okay, later on the suggestion of this, it became particularly vulnerable tribal groups. As of now, there are 75 particularly vulnerable tribal groups in the country. Okay, maximum PVTGs are in Odisha. Is Andhra having any PVTGs? Andhra is having. Names of PVTGs in Andaman and Nicobar, that is important. 5 PVTGs names. Andamanese, Sentinelese, Joravas, learn them. PVT is also repeated topic in UPSC. Why PVTGs I am stressing now? Because it is focus area of government. Honorable Prime Minister in the last 1 year, government had bought PVTG development mission, PM Juga mission, Dharti Aba mission, all for the development of tribals and PVTGs. Okay. India and France sign MOU for new national museum. India is highest tariff major economy. Who is saying this? USNY is saying this. All propaganda, all the. India is highest tariff major economy. What are these tariffs? So majorly type of customs duties, tariffs. So there are some things called tariff barriers and non-tariff barriers. Tariff barriers and non-tariff barriers. You will learn in economy this. Tariff barriers, non-tariff barriers. Tariff barriers ante these basic custom duties, or else any sort of monetary thing placed on that imports or exports. Non-tariff barriers means keeping restrictions on the quantity imported, checking on the quality, avoiding the imports based on the quality. By this also we can reduce the imports, no? Tariffs and non-tariffs. Every time India and USA have clashes based on this tariff and non-tariffs. USA rejected our mangoes based on sanitary and phytosanitary measures. It is a non-tariff barrier. It is not any monetary thing. It is a non-tariff thing, but it is restricting the trade from India. Right? So, there are two things called tariff barriers and non-tariff barriers.